I have a really bad camera. My brother gave me a camera, but I couldn't get it to work. None of the memory sticks fit in the camera my brother gave me. Is this the Mandela effect? I made one video in English and I promised myself I would never do that again because it wasn't as spontaneous. It felt weird to talk in English, but this subject reaches out way further than the small audience I can reach if I would only talk in Swedish. It's the Mandela effect. Many people remember him dying in the early 90s, and even some book printed it. It's also about when things, it's all about when things you know 100% sure for fact just proves to have been wrong all the time. My girlfriend showed me things about this, and I'll show you some examples, some short ones that when I was in school we learned that Hitler wasn't exactly living up to the ideal picture of how he wanted his German race to look. And I also remember learning that USA had 52 states. But later I checked that thing with the USA had 52 states and like, yeah, maybe I was wrong. But when my girlfriend found out about this Mandela effect, she said, yeah, but like the USA had 52 states. We all learned that in school, but it's wrong. I really remember learning USA had 52 states and like 1 star for every state in their flag. How the fuck you paint 52 stars when you paint this flag? I mean, we're not American, but you know, we painted flags in school to learn. There was some guy talking about the Coca-Cola logo. I'll show some video footage.
Picture the Coca-Cola logo, okay? The little Coca with the little swooshy little slash in the middle and then cola at the end. Well, guess what? There's never been that slash except for when it was created back in the 1800s. From 1900 on, it's been a little dot up at top. Take a look at that. Tell me if that looks right. But Coca-Cola's not the only logo.
When that guy talked about the Coca-Cola logo, I pictured it to myself and like, yeah, and then he started talking about it and that little slash. I don't remember exactly what he said, but like, what the fuck is he talking about? And the Volvo logo, it was always a penis symbol. I even remember seeing it on a really old Volvo when I was a kid, and it was even more the male symbol. The ring was much thinner and the arrow was much longer. It's always been a dick. Most brands people have been talking about in those videos, I'll put a link in the description, they are all about American brands. And we don't always have the same brand in Sweden for every cracker or cookie and cleaning equipment. So I didn't recognize all of the brands. My main interest is music, heavy metal music. So I started thinking, well, is there anything they said in this video that I could relate to? I'm a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I got most of his movies, and he said Dr. Dolittle doesn't spell with double O. No, of course it doesn't, because it's in, if I'm not mistaken, it's in one of the movies. Someone makes a wordplay with his name where they say Dr. Do Nothing. So how would that wordplay be if it was a double O? No, it doesn't make sense. And no, but I found one thing. When this band was about to release their first real full-length album, they sent it to the record company and said, no, this is shit. You need to record this again. So they did, but somehow the tapes went they were confused. They sent the wrong tapes to the pressing plant in USA, and they sent the new tapes to the pressing plant in Germany. So the German version of this album got the second recording, the new recording, and obviously everyone likes that recording the most. But what everybody have gotten wrong is that they think that this album that says Steam Hammer, they think this is the version that ended up with the original recording. I mean, people who really love this album have said to me, yeah, the original recording is better, and then they said the German pressing, the Steam Hammer version. No! Guess what? It's the second recording, and compared to the tape that was sent to USA and to all the other countries, the new recording, the good one, have an extra track. They recorded the same album twice, the same year. Why would they record one track less? They have 3 people on the back cover art, but there's a 4th guy playing on the album, and he only plays on that new song. It also makes sense. They got an extra guitar player and recorded the new song on the new recording of the new album. Yeah, I said it in my other videos that I recently moved here, and in the city where I used to live, the guy who worked there in the record store, he was a metalhead since back in the 80s, and he also said that the good recording is the original recording on the Steam Hammer version of the album. It's wrong. And I remember checking facts. I always like facts. It's very important for me to know stuff. If someone would correct me, I would say, yeah, maybe you're right. You know, I could be wrong. That happens because there's a lot of things to know in the metal movement, in the music, about the band members, what they've done as side projects and all that stuff. There's a lot of shits to try to remember, so sometimes I get things wrong. But I get this. We all know about Metal Archives. If you don't, it's the biggest source for metal music facts. Basically, yeah, it is. You can find basically any band that's ever released something that plays metal, you can find them there. And since I like facts, so when I was in school, I sometimes printed the Metal Archives page for albums that I really liked. So what I got here is a 7 years old printing on the Metal Archives page about this album, Sodom, Obsessed by Cruelty, and it's talking about this issue with the 2 different recordings. And this is the way I remember it from always. But other people remember it differently, but I remember this. And this is a 7-year-old paper. The pager changes layout now and stuff, but this is this is apparently a quote from, I'll link it in the description, but this is what the interview from that page says. We recorded this album twice. The first version was recorded in Berlin, and the record company said that no, it's awful, so bad and shit. We had to record it twice, and the second recording we did nearby in Nuremberg, Germany. This recording has one bonus track because we had another guitar player. It was a completely different recording, and as for that trash press made in Berlin, it was just for the US import, and it was a mistake of the company as they changed the tape, so there was a complete new recording of Obsessed by Cruelty. And here's another, not from the interview. The original recording is used on the original US edition released by Metal Blade, and most editions of the album on all formats. Only the European Steamhammer edition of the LP seems to contain the second recording with the additional After the Deluge track. This is what I always remembered it like. So what I'm asking from you now is, have you found any Nelson Mandela effect in heavy metal music? If you have, comment and subscribe. I never thought I would say that. Subscribe, because I'm making another video when I have more about this. If you find more,